All right, I have made it on. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to WCIA Network, where everything I do and say falls under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. My schedule is going to be crazy like it has been, dealing with personal things over here, which takes me away from work. So when stuff happens, you need to be present for family and friends. So that's what I have been doing, and I'm here now. So welcome on in. Hi, Muffin Top. Thank you for being so patient with me and sending me the information that you have been. I look it over, and for everyone else that sends information, that goes out to you too. It means a lot, and it helps stir things up. Stir things up on the spiritual side. So I thank you for that. Today's presentation, which is always here for the children, today's presentation, I hope, brings a little bit of not only justice, but insight to see how I come up with the things that I say and do. Thanks, Muffin Top. Muffin Top is in here. And hi, Bernie. And I'm going to show you how I do that over images. I take images really from different YouTube creators, different family creators that are based mostly around true crime, mostly around children's stories, children that have just been taken, the got gone children, the teenagers like Gabby Petito, Kylie Rodney. Those are two that weigh very heavily on my spiritual side. And I find that there are creators that help me explain to you how I see it spiritually within my third eye, how I have been seeing it since before I even came on YouTube. The story, the insight, the children's spiritual psychic readings that I talk about have been shown to me long ago, before I even met Summer Moon Wells, who is, to me, the warrior that's leading the pack. And the story has come to me in visions that I'm not sleeping. I see them just even talking to you guys. I see the visions through listening to Spirit speak, through feeling of the air, the smell of the air. It all brings spiritual visions. And that is what I'm here to share with you. When I go on live, I don't prepare any kind of anything. I prepare a PDF filled with pictures. And then I go on. Hi, Jean. And then I go on and allow it to just, hi, Crystal, and allow it to just become what it is right now. And I see that I'm starting off speaking very heavily about spirit. I feel as if there's a lot that is very much on the surface. And I see that there are a lot of creators, a lot of YouTube creators that are trying very hard to bring it to the surface. But what I don't see is how I'm going to be speaking about it, which is okay. Not everybody sees this information, but I do see that channels are, I don't know if it's fearful of speaking about it or they just don't want to speak about it. I can't tell if it's they just don't care or they do care and they want to stay away from it. but it's not being spoken about on a level that it's very serious. It's very serious. It's happening. These children are being taken for exactly the reason that you hear Diddy's stories, that you hear the stories that come out of Ellie Carter's mouth. Now, do I know if those people are real people? Do I know if those are people that are pretending to be other people? I don't know who they are, but what I do know is the words coming through their mouth, their expression, their verbal words match what I see. And that to me is all that I care for, because it's the words that bring justice to the children. I don't know if these people are fake. It doesn't matter to me. What matters is, where are the children that these channels are speaking about? Where are the children that the channels are fearful of speaking about? They're keeping away from this conversation that needs to be realized. And if you don't believe anything that I'm saying, and you think that this is all conspiracy theories, think of it this way. Take the stories that the other channels are speaking about and ask yourself, where are the children that they're speaking about? They're telling stories that other people believe, and they're telling stories that other women are coming forth, and men, saying that they're true. Ask yourself, if they're doing that, why haven't they rescued any children? So that is really the front and center of these lives lately. I can't get past that one question. Where in fact are the children that they're talking about? People say, oh yeah, I see the tunnels. They're there. We've seen them. We've seen them. And they're on they're on talk shows. Well, if you have seen them, then ask yourself, where'd those kids go? They don't just have tunnels down there for the adults to just go down there. We are well educated now, and we're going to get more well educated as this goes on what they're doing to our beautiful children of the world. But understand, like I said, nobody's coming to their rescue. Nobody has lifted children out from underneath the ground. Nobody has raised the children out from the tunnels. Nobody has brought even evidence out of the tunnels to show that there were multiple hundreds of children. But yet, they're bringing charges to people that have been doing this. I don't talk about those people. I don't care about them. I don't give a shit about them, because we'll never get the truth. But when you look at this little page here of Summer Moon Wells, they're not normal photos. But the thing is, this particular kind of photo that I have of Summer, which is not Summer because that's more of an adult looking teenage child, that's not a 5-year-old hanging from the ceiling next to Don. Why doesn't anyone care what that photo's showing? It's an odd photo, everybody. That's not a 5-year-old. So even if you say, well, someone could have just duped that or changed that or did deep fake that. Wonderful, great. Who cares? Look at the face. That is not a 5-year-old child. Those pajamas are on a 5-year-old child throughout that video. And the child that we see is very teeny. Small arms, small head, small neck, small body. So why wouldn't this be recognized as a red flag? It isn't. This is Summer Moon Wells. This is the child that gave me affirmations to everything that I have written down in my documentary. My documentary, which was just accepted to the International Film Festival. My documentary was accepted to the International Film Festival, you guys. That is a big deal. They sent me this little thing. Let's see. Let me find it. They sent me the official seal. It should be in here. So, I'm telling you, one day, these children will get justice by seeing their story on a large screen in the movies. It was accepted. That is such a big deal. You guys, it's a big deal. Here, official seal. Documentaries Without Borders International Film Festival. That's official. I have it sent out to only 2 new film festivals, and they're one of them. It will happen. And the people that are trying to hide this, will no longer be hiding anything. The ones that have helped me see the truth, and the ones that have helped me through affirmations of the elements that these children see and hear and watch, are people like Molly Golightly. Now, Molly Golightly isn't the story. Molly Golightly will never be the story, because it's not about her. What it's about is how deepfake covers the truth. How to me, the truth lies beneath these images. I look beyond, within Molly Golightly. She has been able to allow me to channel through her. She was one of the first ones that I was able to channel. Let me give you an example. Thank you guys. Hi Jean Warren. Hi Liz. Hi Fiat. Nothing but love. Hi you guys. Thank you for all those kind words. Hi Sherry. Thank you. It's going to be, and hey, all of you guys, this happens. All of you guys are going to go to the the what is it, the screening. This is Molly Golightly. She has always been someone that I've connected to as if she was a child. I connected to her as if she was a victim lying beneath Molly Golightly. So when I say something like that, it's because her energy allows me to channel the children. So is the story that I'm telling about Molly? Never. It's not about any of that. It's not about the Kent family. It's not about the Beeston Bunch. It's not about Van Clan. It's not about any of those groups that I get my information from. It's about the elements that you see right here. Whatever they're doing to these children, it's very painful. The eyeball, the eyeball, the eyeball. The eyes are a major part of this sacrifice. The eyes are a major part of whatever they're doing with this technology. It's technology, you guys. It's real. And they're really, really using this technology. So when I see something like this, and I see Molly showing this, it's not about her. It's about the image that I see beyond her. I see pain. I see sacrifice. I see these different faces within her face. I have shown these multiple times. That's not Molly, but I got these from her channel. These same faces show up in the videos that I just looked at 2 nights ago that were deleted and put back up. They were deleted and put back up. I don't care why. I'm just saying. But again, just like I said, that's not Summer Moon Wells as a 5-year-old. This is telling me the story of the victims are beneath her face. The victims are screaming. They're screaming out for help. That's all I see. Molly Golightly. Molly Golightly shows me that. So when you see channels that have been around since Summer Moon Wells and are obsessing over certain other children, that's where I get my information from. JLR. Dolly Vision. Justice for All. Tiffany Marie. Bullhorn Betty. All those. All those. But we could all agree that this shows a different story to me. The children are being ignored. They're being trafficked. They're being sold. They're being used for science projects. They are being televised. They're being filmed. They're confused. They are being grossly taken advantage of. And nobody is coming to their rescue. There's horror in these photos. Horror in their faces. And they're getting away with it, just like they know that there's tunnels and nobody's coming to rescue them. You guys, if they haven't come yet, they're not coming. The evidence is gone. The children are gone. I told you guys, for those who've been following me for a long time, my most intense psychic clairvoyant experience was really what happened with the burning of the trees in California. And I told you guys about that. It happened last year. Oh, Michelle Clifford. I ask God every day, let me help the children. Just by you being here and saying what you just said, you are helping the children. Just by what you just did with that message, understand that that helps the children. So you have been answered. You are helping the children. I felt the burning of the children. What I saw now I recognize is what happened in California. What I did see that no one talks about, I believe, was the start of the fire. What I saw is what I believe to be true is how it began. I saw these black trucks, and you guys, I have this documented last year. I've told you this story many, many, many times, and it's always about the black trucks since I started YouTube. So these black trucks to me are real black trucks. They're trucks that are part of this situation. They are black trucks. These black trucks came across the backyard of a house, and it was the Wells house, and there was a tree. The tree that caught on fire, my body went through the burning of a child, which started down by my feet where my ankles were tied, were chained together. And it went up my body, up my hands, because my hands were burning and my jewelry was burning as if there were coals on my arms. It went up to my chest, into my neck, and I started screaming for my daughter because I was about to enter something. I knew it's never happened to me before like that. I'm like, you got to stop this, help me stop this, because I was entering something where I would have gone crazy. Like, I felt like I was about to go crazy. Like, it was like entering this thing where the children or the victims lose it. They lose their minds. That's what it's saying. They just lose their minds. And I had to call my guru, Mark. Mark knows who he is. And he is either in Arizona. I don't know where exactly he was when we called him. And his voice released it. He's well known. He has books. He's phenomenal. And he threw water on me from my head down. And as he was doing that, the fire was going out. Now, that was an experience that I'll never forget. And when it was done, I went to stand up and the chair was stuck to me. and it lifted off the ground. Now, my daughter was there to witness it. Thank God, because I'm like, what just happened? I felt like it was for 20 minutes, and I guess all of this happened within seconds. Within seconds. But what I felt and experienced was this. I felt and experienced what these victims go through. And I see their faces in Molly's face. This isn't Molly. I don't see Molly. I see victim to the left, laying on the same piece of equipment that I always see a victim laying on. That's what I see here. So no one's coming to Summer Moon Wells to find her. Nobody is putting the elements together that are being shown over and over and over to help find and bring justice to these children. Summer Moon Wells is in a place that she was used for the purpose of the resurrection. And she's with thousands of other children, other victims. But she's beneath the earth. Pieces of her. Just like Michael Vaughn. Michael Vaughn's pictures are never the same either, but they tell the same story as Summer Moon Wells. Each and every time. Michael Vaughn, how I see it, was taken with Summer. They were taken together. These children have been placed in these areas that no one cares to go get them. And that is something that is beyond my comprehension, beyond my understanding. If people are talking about these sacrifices, and they're real, and they have information that all matches, where are the children? Summer Moon Wells' case and all of their kids, and Don and Candace, are ringleaders. They're ringleaders. They had no problem showing it in the beginning. The boys are the Batman. The girls are the princesses. This happens around Christmas. But they all carry that little thing in their hand that we see in every case, especially Sebastian's parents. Look at their hands. Look at their hands. These little pieces are of importance. That little girl there is supposed to be Summer Moon Wells. Summer Moon Wells. They have never shown Summer. They have never shown their child. Now, okay, she was only 5. So how many pictures? So if you have a picture of her older, she's not older than 5. This is an example. This here is not the same child. Brandy has a life-threatening. She'll probably die, or wherever she's going, because Brandy's last video was nothing more than messages. Brandy's last video was only messages. It was screwed up, and no one talks about it. These aren't the same kids. But look what's in their hands. same thing that Sebastian's parents have in their hands, the same thing that Kylie Rodney's mother holds in her hand, the same thing that the Idaho 4 parents have in their hands. There's no difference. There's no difference. This is the same. You see all this? These are elements, you guys. Look at their fingers. Look at what's under the father's leg. These are all elements. These are symbols. Symbols that set the children free. Information within Sebastian's parents' videos set him free. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to set these children free. They don't. Nobody has any intentions of setting them free. No one has any intentions on talking about them. Michael Vaughn, Brandy, shows the same thing. I'm not saying she's guilty. She's innocent. This isn't about the parents. It's like it's not about Sebastian's parents. I don't care. It's not about Sebastian's parents. It's not about the Wells parents. They're adults. Let them handle themselves. I don't talk about that. What I'm telling you is Michael Vaughn's spirit is being shown through this video. The children's spirit is being shown through this video, period. Whatever the children go through is being shown through Brandy's video. Her video was very, very uncomfortable to watch. It was so uncomfortable. When I look at things and watch videos, many a times I can't see outside of the spiritual voice. So it's crazy that in my later 50s, I'm realizing that my siblings, every time I would say something, and I just realized this in this moment in my time, they really would be like, we don't know what you're talking about. That's not what they said. Two different hands. And we're going through that now. And my sister would be like, that's not what they said. That's not what they said. That's not what the doctor said. That's not what they said. And I then have to question myself, did they say that or didn't they say that? And then 2 days later, it happens. If they said it or not. That's what the truth is. And I think that's just what I've been doing my whole life. This is Michael Vaughn. This is Brandy. I want you to look at her. These are moments that speak about the children's sacrifice. This is about the story, the sacrifice they have gone through. You're looking at a story. You may not know the story, but I'm here telling you the story. The child is gone. Michael is gone. He has been sacrificed. His journey is no longer a journey. And there are adults that know his story that will die with him. Listen to what I'm saying to you. There are adults that will die with him. There are adults that will die because of his situation. It's about the children. I'm giving you readings. I'm giving you spiritual readings. This is a very horrific outcome for the children. You're looking at something that became an outcome for the children that they didn't necessarily think was so close to reality. There's a lot of death related to this video. A lot of death. What's with the oops? Why do you have oops? Oops, you did it again? So, Brandy, again, I'm going to close this, is not guilty. She's a messenger to me. Like Molly Golightly's a messenger. She's a messenger. Allie Carter is a messenger. What they're showing here with Allie Carter's eye is no different than I show in anyone's eye. It's the same thing as I show in Molly Golightly's eye. This is a big part. This is a big part of what goes on. So when I show Allie Carter all the time, Allie Carter's telling the story of the children. I don't know who she is, but she's recognizing the elements. That this here is what the children's eyeballs look like. Whatever they're doing to these eyes, robotic eyes, that's the V. So let me see something. Dream. There is, I don't know which catcher. There's one of the channels I follow. He has the same thing in his eye. American Dream Catcher. Shit. CDE. Let's see. Adventures. No. American Dream Catcher. Got it. American Dream Catcher. American Dream Catcher? Wait. This guy. There's a video that I have of his, and I'm like, this is the sacrifice that he's showing. So just to show you, this was 2 years ago. This is him. I'll show you the video. This is Allie's eye. So I've been following this American Dream Chaser, maybe. You're right, Colleen. I think so. Let me see. This dude. So what he's showing in his video here is what Molly Golightly is showing in her eyes. So when I say I see elements, it's not like I just pick on something. I see these are the same elements as I've always seen. So there are certain channels that have helped me tell you the story of the children. There are certain creators that showed in one video 2 different faces. It wasn't just Molly. It was all of the characters that were in the beginning of Summer Moon Wells' case. This guy also had 2 different looks. This was always in his smaller window. That's not the same person. But this is only thing this did for me is to help tell the story. These children are being manipulated by equipment, and this equipment is underground. The equipment, it's technical equipment. It takes money. It takes a group. And this group is not willing to recognize the children under no circumstances. And that's fine. But I would think at this stage, they'd be like, why isn't anyone recognizing the children? Like, you don't have to recognize anything. Just recognize that they're not recognizing it. Gabby Petito was one of these. She was sacrificed for the same situation. She was sacrificed for the same reason as Summer Moon, Michael Vaughn, and she was put into the leaves. She was put into the trees, and that's it. I believe this is one of the tunnels that is connected to her death. This here is Brian Laundrie. I don't believe he's dead. But this is what the tunnels look like. That's what the entrances look like. Now, obviously, everything's allegedly. Everything I say here. Obviously, this is for entertainment purposes or educational purposes. But this is what I have been seeing for years. So when I'm showing you an element for those that are newer, it's not an element that just is new. Every one of my elements have been discussed. There are no new elements. They're all the same. They're all the same. The kids, they're in rooms. And they could be watched through windows like this. Each child has one. You have to watch very carefully when the videos show a victim's face. Spirit will show a victim's face once in a while. This person isn't supposed to be in the video with him. He's alone. These are elements. The thing in his hand is an element that I show all the time. That's the maroon box. The victims are wearing particular equipment all the time. Do you see this? Do you see a victim in here? Nobody has questioned this man. This here is the equipment behind that wall. That is the equipment that I've been showing. It's identical every time I show it. So the only thing that I could keep doing is showing it. I could just keep showing it. There is nothing more I can do. I'm not the law enforcement, right? The rooms, his room. But look at this, you guys. This is a typical room. He still has a channel. Let me see if I have the video here. American, is it on one of these pictures? American Dream Catcher or Dream Chaser, one of the two. American Dream. See that thing in the wall changes. American Dream Catcher. Or you guys, he did a whole thing on Gabby Petito. So to me, these are what the rooms look like. To me, this is what a typical room would look like that has a victim in it. This. Gabby Petito, let me see. Let me see if I have this in here. No, that's Catch It TV. Wait. Gabby. I want to see if he's in this. Gabby Petito showed all of these elements. And it will never, ever, ever, ever get reviewed. You know, they're doing all of these documentaries and Netflix, blah, 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 blah. But they're not going to, my documentary is about showing all these pieces that make no sense. But how is it that they'd make no sense in every one of the cases? So if you see it once, okay, it makes no sense. But if you see it in every video, like those things in the mouth, I mean, how is it that, you know, it's coincidence every time I review any of these cases. How is that coincidence? It's not. Because to me, what she has in her mouth is the same thing as what Allie Carter is showing in her mouth. So they're not coincidences. You have to look for the smallest of the smallest bit of information. Within the mirrors and the reflections beneath the deep fake. The story is being told. The truth is being told. They show law enforcement just like this in Gabby Petito's story. That is nobody like that was on the video of Gabby Petito. So how is it that that's in the video like that? All of these, you could only look at something, maybe one time be like, But these victims are doing the same thing, all of them. Whatever is happening here is happening here. That's how I see it. Because the story is being told. For me, it's being told through the pictures. So I see these pictures and I see Summer Moon Wells. I see the Gabby Petito. I see Michael Vaughn. And the equipment remains the same. It just remains the same. Let me brighten this up. This will help. This is a little dark. Okay. It's the same thing. So, this is what my documentary talks about. Right, the suffering. The children that are attached to the equipment that nobody wants to talk about. If they've gone down in the tunnels, they've seen this stuff. This dude. Right? All of this. See? These are the same. The number 5, whatever is coming down her arm, I see the bones. I see the same exact bits of information that show the bones of a child. The bones of a child. And this is what I see his mother showing. The sacrifice of Michael Vaughn. I see Michael Vaughn. I spiritually see him here. As I spiritually see Summer Moon Wells with Benny Keys. The spirit of the children are within each of these videos, within each of these photos. Benny Keys' photo to the left, you guys, was taken. That was a video where he was with Don and Candace Wells interviewing them. And I said, then I see summer. This is summer. Let me show you. This here is summer, which matches Michael. This here, you change Michael Vaughn's. I'm going to crop it and change the color a little so it pops and show you that these two children receive justice as I speak. This and this. Let me crop it a little. Let me brighten it. Summer moon. These are the same to me. Thank you for those ones. See? This has always been summer. And she has now given us Michael. She's given it to us. She gave it to us. She gave it to us. And it's very spiritual. Very spiritual. Benny Keys has always been front and center. Yes, it's a closing part of the ritual that the victims be shown allegedly. Yes, I think that this is, now I don't know if it's a closing part, but you're correct. This is like I could only go by how I feel, my clairvoyance, how I feel. And it makes me extremely sad in a way that it's right, like closure, like sad, but now I know this child is gone. Like closure, but now I know this child is gone. And that's how I feel about both these children and within both these photos. It tells a story. And it's super clear to me. It's the same feeling. It's the same emotion. I see Michael Vaughn's hands. I see his fingers. I see pieces of him. I see pieces of her son. I see Deepfake. And I see nothing that represents who she is. It's not there. The only thing that's there to me are the children. I don't see her here at all. I don't feel her here at all. I feel nothing about her. I feel messages, heartbreak, demands. I just see that this was placed together like this, like when we would see all these pictures of Molly. It would just not be Molly. It's all these different things going on, and it's about the children. But nobody's coming forth clearly. Nobody comes forth ever to tell the truth. Like, it's a cat and dog game. It's, hide the weenie. For the people that, oh, I'm here for the children, blah, 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 blah. No, I just, if you were here, you would try to understand your videos and get an open, like, yeah, you're not going to see what I see. Most people are not. But listen to the stories that I'm telling over your videos that actually look crazy. Some of them do look crazy. But these are the channels that are giving the truth for the children. The eye, always, always. The way that Molly is pulling her hair and the way that she is acting in the last two videos is not new. It's just not her. I don't see anything that represents the person that I knew and watched over 3 years ago. Whoever this is representing is the same thing that is representing in the other videos that Molly would put out there with Bullhorn Betty and Chronicles of Olivia. And all that says is there are victims beneath the ground that no one is searching for. These are parts of what the equipment looks like. So when I show stuff like this, I want you to remember what you're looking at. Look at her eye. Look at this symbol that I'm showing you in the background. Look at this, right? Let me change the color. I want you to understand that this here, what I see, is sacrifice. This is part of sacrifice. That I is being sacrificed. Just like that. So if it keeps showing up, why not discuss it? What you're looking at here are elements, symbols that don't change. This doesn't change. These here relate to victims. What you're seeing here on the TV and what's under the TV is exactly what was shown in the Idaho 4. This little guy that's laying under the TV here, this thing, Let me brighten it up. This right here, it's under the TV, can be found in the Idaho 4 videos. Idaho, let's see. Idaho Sigma. Let's see if it's in this one. Idaho Party. No. Wait. So many. It was in the TikTok. Maybe it's Idaho TikTok. Let me see. Oh, Moscow. Moscow. Ugh. So many of so many. Okay, I'm not going to find it this way. Okay. Anyways. This is under. Let's see if I put TikTok. TikTok. No, these are the TikTok children. The TikTok children, it's very interesting. There's so many kids on TikTok in these situations. TikTok bred this shit. It was like crazy. Let's see, one more place. Okay. I'm not looking again. All right, anyways. So this is what they give me information. And when I go over any of these critical videos that are created by these YouTube creators and they show me the same elements, that is when I'm like, I don't get it. We have this same picture of Summer here as Molly is showing in her TV. We have this. Each child that gets taken under these tunnels, they have boxes like this. They each have a box like that. Like this is telling you what I see within my third eye. Nothing makes sense other than this is the story. That the story that I was told and I already have visually gets told, I call beneath the deep fake. And Molly just happens to be one of those channels that gives me the best information. I've always said that these victims have a V on their necks. See the thing under the TV again? This is what Summer looked like. Like that. and the guardian. The guardian. Legal network. And here's the fire that starts. When I said that the fires that I believe, I do believe that the fires in California, they started underground tunnels, like what you see here. These are fires that I'm looking at that are underground. They go underground and up. And this is what it looks like. So this gives you a good representation of what I see as far as the tunnels exploding. That these fires, and they're down in the tunnels, they go down the stairways. Just like that. And you can access them through homes. Through different homes and through different doors. And these doors can be found, I believe, within closet spaces behind the clothing. They're hidden between walls. Garages. Garages are a great place for an entrance. Entrances look like this. They're walls between walls. Again, Molly Golightly gives me the best looking photo. They're confusing walls. Let me change the coloring in here. This is supposed to be her closet. Okay, great. I see something else here. I see entranceways, this here, and that kind of a stairway is what goes up in flames. This would be something like this that goes up in flames. And that would be where a child is. A victim lies. In here, which is in here. Behind the wall of a wall of a wall. These are built in new construction. These are built within new homes that are being constructed by certain companies that create this. There are blueprints. There are blueprints that help build these. So if you look in the smallest photo between these guys, you have a picture. Let me crop in. How you kind of find the photos to study are within, they're called photos between the frames. So this photo is what's between these guys, and it's a hole in the wall. So what it's telling me is that these holes in the wall are the entranceways, and they could be found in the new construction of these homes. New construction, like all these families are building, they're consistently building new construction over and over and over and over. They're moving, they're building it all their own. They're builders. All of these families happen to be able to build houses all by themselves. All by themselves. But the rooms are between the rooms. The doorways, the hallways to these hell holes begin within the homes. But they're sealed off. So the home gives you an entranceway. But they're sealed off. So see how this entranceway is in the ceiling. This one just happens to be in the ceiling. Let me crop it. If you look, let me brighten it. So what this is telling me is the hellhole entranceway is up top. That would be the doorway on the bottom. Oh, but these are entranceways. Like that. And they tell this same story in the video, all the videos that I watch. I mean, that is supposed to be Molly just sitting in her closet. Well, I don't see a closet. I see a hellhole. Right there. It's not a closet. This is called the equipment. These are called doorways to hell. These lead the children to got gone. They're gone. They're gone. Not coming back. They're gone. This isn't anything that should be in anyone's videos. But I have seen this over and over and over and over. Yeah, private rooms. I just want to show you something. It just doesn't lay right with me. This isn't Sebastian's father, and this isn't Sebastian. This is the little boy that was bullied. But his story came out when Sebastian's did. His story was forgotten. But his story, in his face, he looks identical to Sebastian as the father does. And all of the elements here are the same as Sebastian's story. These boys are different boys. So I can't make sense of this. I see them as the same child. And no one really has brought this to surface. You know how they have the little girls all look the same, blonde hair, blue eyes, they all look the same? Well, so do these boys. They look the same. There's a group that gets taken during the same time period that looks the same. It isn't talked about. The fathers look the same. This is Sebastian. The one to the left is the little boy that was bullied. They're very much the same looking children. This father's videos show the elements very clearly, but he was never talked about again. He was forgotten, totally forgotten. What you see here, as far as the fake car, because I say the fake car is where the victims are and it's underground, is no different than what you're looking at here. So when I say Allie is underground and she's showing me the underground tunnel and she's showing me where these children go, it's the same situation as here. These are victims, and she's showing the truth. I'm just bringing this in for a moment because I don't want you guys to forget that the victims, this is all about the resurrection, new beginnings, and the victims are used to rebuild areas, to rebuild land, to rebuild, replenish. And I do see that some children are brought out towards these desert areas. And I'm not saying that this family does it. This is just what it looks like. So when I look at videos like this, it reminds me of that. It reminds me of the videos I see from the Idaho 4. That the 4 of them were taken by these trucks and gone. I don't see anything other than them being taken to a situation like this. That's what I spiritually see within the Idaho 4 videos. Sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. And no one wants to talk about it. They know. They know. And when I say the black trucks, there were black trucks involved in the Idaho 4. These victims were taken by the black trucks. And I don't see just 4. I see 7. I see 7 victims. I don't see 4 victims. 7 victims. You really must look closely and listen to your intuition when you watch these stories. Always the blue light. It's consistently looking the same way, you guys. Victims. victims. This might as well be a summer moon wells right on top. Rituals, ceremonies, rituals, ceremonies. Where are they? Where are they? You guys, seriously, where are these taken kids? They give bits of information that I see. Just little bits that keep me going, that keep the children's story up front. Bits of sacrifice, bits of pieces, of faces that I must remember, people that I must remember. Understanding that faces change, stories change, the children change. But what they go through and where they go stay the same. They go under, they go down under into the dark, deep hole of hell. And they're gone, you guys. When is it going to be time to mourn the ones that are gone? To understand that when they were taken down there, they're all doing the same thing. They're being taken and sacrificed. When I see this, I see this. Summer might as well be in the fake car. In the fake car. As I see her in a fake car. This is the story. This is the equipment that holds the truth. I'm not saying it's about this girl. It's not. The images that I see beyond her, behind her, in front of her, help tell the story of the children. So each and every time that I see photos and I'm like, oh, I had to change the color here because I'm going to be able to see the story a little bit better. This is what I get. I get to see the heart that's connected to the equipment. Within the garage that leads to the tunnels. It's underground. It's under the cement. It's in the cement. They may have to dig, drill. But they're the ones who lay fresh cement over the hearts of the children. This is the story that I get from this blob. that this is in front of a home by the garage. In front of the garage is a buried heart. It's a buried treasure. And they buried it under the new construction. This is the heart. This is the triangle. This is the heart. This is the stair. This is down under. This is under it, under the cement. Under the cement. Displaced. It's under the cement. This child is under the cement. That's how I do it. They wear masks to camouflage their face. They have equipment on their head. And they keep masks like this. Like this. Ethan. That's Ethan from the Idaho 4. Nobody's asked about this picture. This came from Ethan and his girlfriend's telephone. It was an image that was on the telephone. It's the same image, the same situation that is happening to the left with Ethan is the story that I am telling you to the right. Same situation, same sacrifice, different victims. Different victims. They have the same information. The same information. Let me bring this forward. Look closely how Ethan's face has these things on it as well. And here's your rope. I have a serious problem with this photo with Ethan. I mean, I've been showing it for a long time, you guys. Let me see if I contrast it more. Here, I'll contrast this a little bit so you can see him a little better. Ethan. Blows my mind. But this is what they do to them. This is part of the sacrifice, but no one wants to see it. No one wants to look at the Benny Keys photos that I have with the heart and the face and the sacrifice. No one wants to look at the pictures that we have of Molly Golightly underground, smushed within some sort of a closet with equipment. Nor do they want to look at the photos that I show of sacrifices that are those sacrifices that are in progress. This is what it looks like. They bring some of these children out to the desert, out to the land, to replenish their land. To replenish. I am not saying that this group has their daughter out replenishing. What I am saying is the situation that you see here. Let me change the color. Is what the spirit children show me to be true. That they're connected like that. There's a bucket, there's a V, and they are within a situation like this. That they are replenishing the earth. Just like that. And people are doing this. And I don't think it's that difficult to figure out. It's a bucket. I do not believe it's that difficult. And our children are not going to be saved. They are not going to be saved. So you're looking at what this stuff looks like, just like whatever they're attached to is an Ethan. It's doing the same thing here. See, what's happening here is the same thing as you're looking at here. Same story. Those are the same stories, and this is the only way I know how to bring justice to the children. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with this, because I see it. I see it very clearly. It hurts. It really hurts. And these are the same. Hi, Justice coming soon. Thank you. BC. Michelle. I think I said hi to everybody else that came in. Lisa. These are the same. The Idaho 4. Very simple. A sacrifice. Molly Golightly's videos that she showed the other night, took down and put back up, is no different than this. No different. Underneath the video, underneath the pictures, I see the same victim-like photos as I did in her other videos that show different faces. So when I see something like that, it's telling me this story. It's telling me the story of the children. You know, let me see something. This guy here, Enan from the Idaho 4, really represented to me the underground fires. I see the underground fires with him. That's what I see. And when I look at the children that show themselves in the desert, and to me they look more alone than they appear to be. But that's how I see them at the end of their sacrifice, is alone. If you look closely at Enan's video, he shows to me the fires of the victims. And this is underground. This is underground. Cement, rebuilding, construction. Summer Moon Wells was part of everything that I speak about. Part of all of it. She showed it to me. When you see photos like this, I still see this as underground. Equipment within the tunnels. The equipment within the tunnels have not changed. They have the same symbols, the same information, the same story. As Summer Moon. That little heart. What you see here is what I just showed you with that catcher guy. Pieces of the equipment. If you look all the way to the left, how is that Xana? Xana has no face. Xana looks like the person all the way to the right. Brian Kohlberger's video That's supposed to be Brian Kohlberger. In the videos, mostly they're the ones that I get from Plunder. Brian Kohlberger's photos never look like him. They remind me of Ethan. Ethan's picture all the way to the right is really what happened to Ethan. And Brian Kohlberger's picture is telling the same story with the V around the neck. They both have the same elements that speak the same story. Crop this. Just so you guys could see this clearer. Make this bigger. Okay. Look at this. Look at that. And that, I'm not just saying, oh, they have the same thing around their neck. It's always a V. It's always a V, and then they have something on their face, on their eye, that's coming down their face. Again, that's what I showed you on Molly Golightly. What I see around this guy Enan's neck is the same situation. And when I watch his fire and what he's doing, I really, really do see underground sacrifices. I do see rituals coming out from his videos, as I do this guy's videos. See, that's Molly. And that's Brian Kohlberger. There's no difference. The same story. They're bringing justice to the children. They're bringing justice to the children. These children. The children that show the mask, the children that show what's wrong with the eye, that there's something covering their face, that are digging in the desert. These children. Elements. Elements. This guy's elements, elements, elements. Stein. Elements. That bring me right to the Idaho 4. This is the same conversation. All the way to the left, you guys, is a video that talked about the Idaho Forest. Someone did an interview or whatever they were doing, talking, and I really don't know who made it, but that's what it looks like. And the person that's speaking looks like that. And I matched that kind of situation up to, I have already, to multiple videos and images. But it really does stay within the same Idaho 4 grouping, as you see here. That's Enid. And that's Stein. So if you look closely to his fire, it almost looks as if he's holding someone on a stick. He's supposed to be holding just sticks. That looks like another human. That looks like the human that's on the right. The children's faces. I do believe these kids get a shovel. Some of them have to dig their hole in the ground. And I believe it's in the open desert. And Stein's photos and videos were simply exactly what I thought they were. Images that showed me the truth. Does not necessarily mean that that's what he had in the front of his video. Children. Victimized. I see the children. I see the basement. Wait. Wait. Hold on. This is part of the equipment, you guys. Well, thank you. Thank you, Michelle. The victims show themselves as much as they can each day to me. And all I do is try to pull it together to show you the common elements as best to my ability, to show you that each and every time I see these children, it really is the same image over and over and over. All of this. It doesn't change. The equipment doesn't change. What you're seeing here is no different than what I showed you was in Benny's mouth in the first video we went over. This here is the same. Let me grab it. This here equipment is this equipment. You see, it's just showing on his head on the left-hand side. The right side, it's a victim in there. These are the fires. I see these as the fires that went down underground in the tunnels. That what you're looking at here are the actual ceremonies that the children went through and what they go through. That's what I'm seeing. I am seeing the ceremony. I am seeing the children. I'm not seeing Enon. I'm not seeing what he wants us to see. I am seeing the children's story. Right here. The story of the children. Candace Wells showed the same thing. Kylie Rodney showed the same thing. Gabby Petito showed the same thing. Equipment. The equipment goes all the way back to the beginning of Michael Robert Vaughn. Back to the beginning. They laid this out systematically. The plan was laid out many moons ago. Where to place these things, how to place them in the earth. And Allie Carter is showing the story of the children, just as they're showing the story of the children to your left-hand side. Equipment, equipment. Look at the fingers. This is a great photo of how the fingers they have a part. The fingers I've always pointed it out. The fingers have a very large part in these ceremonies and these sacrifices. Fingers are trophies. Their fingers are taken. These fingers don't stay with the victims very long. Here. Just don't stay with them very long. I look in the mouth. I look at the symbols. The similarities. How the children's faces change and get covered and they're blurred out. The hands are different. The fingers are different. Molly Golightly in this past video, she's laying on the same heart. She's laying on the equipment. It's supposed to be her pink sweatshirt, but she is, what I see, laying on the same white equipment as I've been showing. This here. Look what is under her cheek. See? That's equipment. That's sticky. See her eye? There are so many images that they're actually, you could see them. Like actually see them. They're the same. Aaron Carter shows the same. Idaho 4 shows the same information. And there's her heart. Idaho 4, right on her neck. Summers. Molly's. This is for the children. This is to bring justice. Do you see the 5 under his neck all the way to the right? See that? These are the pieces that I'm showing you. Just like that. Common elements. Common. Whatever Summer is wrapped up in, which I call mesh, is what all of these kids get wrapped in. Mesh. And that child is not 5. There are the fingers, same fingertips to the left as I just showed you. Let's see if it patches. No, not that one. The one where the fingers were covered. Fingers. Going out to the water. Mask on their face. The equipment on the neck. The underground tunnel. Entrance. Common photos. To me, these photos are the same. All of these are showing the same story. Fire, water, whichever one it is, it's showing the same story with the different animal pieces, the elements, the faces, the mask, all of it. I want to just say something. I want to just really, what I want to end with are photos like this. I want to end with explaining that the children are under these tunnels. These are them. No one's coming to save them. These are the children that I select to show you images straight from the videos. No one's coming. Why? They get to these tunnels by going through the water. In order to find them, we need people to understand the story is real. This is the story. It has been told over and over and over and over in every one of the channels and every one of the cases. If we want to close this down and come together, it needs to be recognized as the truth. Not until then will the children be freed. We could bring them justice as much as we can, but they will only be freed if they go and get them. Go and get them. What's keeping you from getting them? People have shown you and told you where to go get them. Go get them. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being in chat. So sweet and so wonderful. Great. Love the words. I hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation, and I hope to be back here sooner than I was this last time. Pay attention to the creators that are speaking. Pay attention to their videos. Have a blessed night. Have a wonderful day tomorrow. Goodbye, folks.